Everyone in the world wants
On his way, yes.
I'm ready for Spurs. Iconic.
Noise. Don't listen to it all. Only what matters. Tottenham code. And I answer.
Xavi Simons to Tottenham Hotspur. Here we go. £51.8 million plus in add-ons. The number 7 shirt is on his back. A Champions League proven star just at the young age of 22 years old. Some say he's the most exciting signing that Spurs have had since Rafa van der Vaart. That's insane. But is this really true? Is Xavi Simons the most exciting signing that Spurs have had since Van der Vaart? Is Xavi signings the most exciting player that Spurs have signed in over a decade? Let's break this all down. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving right into why Tottenham signed Xavi Simons and why it's not just another typical Spurs signing, why this has potential to be the most groundbreaking signing in over a decade for Tottenham Hotspur. And we're also going to touch on how he could be the game changer for Spurs and Thomas Frank, and how Thomas Frank can get the best out of him so that Xavi Simons can become a world-class player. And of course, we're also going to have the lovely debate, and also to piss off Arsenal fans, on to see who has been the better signing, Xavi Simons or Eberechi Eze. We're going to talk, bro. We're going to talk. Now, before we get into the video, quick reminder that 69% of you who watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you enjoy these deep dives, if you enjoy these player breakdowns, be sure to hit that like button and drop a sub and let me know your thoughts in the comments, because trust me, bro, we're going to have a lot to talk about this signing, man. A lot. So let's start right at the beginning. Xavi Simons was born in Amsterdam. He is the son of former Dutch footballer Regilio Simons. At just 7 years old, he joined Barca Academy La Masia, the same place that produced Lionel Messi, Xavi, and Iniesta. And from the very start, he was billed as the next big thing. Clips of him as a kid went viral online. Everyone thought he was destined for superstardom. But when PSG came calling in 2019, Xavi left Barcelona for Paris at just age 16. Repeat, he left Barcelona for Paris Saint-Germain at age 16. This was a very bold move at the time, and maybe even just a controversial one. Now at PSG, opportunities were very limited. I mean, when you're competing with the likes of Mbappe, Neymar, Cavani, Di Maria, it's going to be extremely hard to get into that lineup. It's going to be very hard to break through. But that did not stop him. A loan spell at PSV changed everything. In 2022-2023 season, Simons lit up the Eredivisie with 22 goals and 12 assists in 48 appearances. He showed he could be a star, not just a prospect. This guy was destined for great things, and he still is. On his debut, Xavi Simons scored a goal that helped PSV lift the Dutch Super Cup. And then the 19-year-old went on to be named the talent of the season after finishing as the Eredivisie's top goal scorer with 19 goals. He helped his side claim the Dutch Cup in April of 2023. After his time at PSG, wow, this is complicated as hell, bro. PSG activated his buyback clause, but immediately loaned him to RB Leipzig, and that's where he proved himself at the top level. In the Bundesliga last season, Simons racked up 10 goals and 13 assists across all competitions. He created chances, carried the ball into dangerous areas, and became one of the best young creators in Europe. So you can literally see, for his age, this isn't just a young player. This is a young player with a bunch of experience under his belt. He's an experienced young player. He's done it in the UCL, he's done it for Netherlands on the international stage, and at every single point in his career, he's proved the haters wrong, he's proved the doubters wrong, and he has literally racked up so many goals and assists, it's actually unbelievable for his age. So with all that being said, with over 70 goals and assists throughout his career, with the stardom, being in Barcelona's academy and PSG's academy, all the moves, all the hype surrounding him. The question is, how the hell did Spurs land him? Well, let's talk about it. So this one's a bit of a wild one, so buckle up. All summer, Chelsea wanted Xavi Simons, and he wanted them too. He was their guy, but they dragged their feet all summer. They did not prioritize him. They prioritized other signings like Gittins, even, Garnacho, and now, as of today, they just signed Buonanotte on loan. So what the hell have Chelsea been doing? When you have a player like Xavi Simons, why do you not prioritize a player like this? Why? But, of course, as a Spurs fan, I'm not complaining because meanwhile, Spurs were very desperate. After failing to land Eberechi Eze and Morgan Gibbs-White, they needed creativity. Daniel Levy and the recruitment team saw the opening and pounced. For a handsome, generous fee of £51.8 million plus £10 million in add-ons, Tottenham secured one of Europe's brightest young stars. And the fact that Chelsea missed out makes it even sweeter. So now looking at the Tottenham squad with Xavi Simons in this lineup, assuming everyone's fit, wow, what a team. How does this look, Spurs fans? Now listen, of course, as we all know, Frank typically uses a 4-2-3-1 with inside forwards close to the goal, and Simons, of course, can play as a left winger as well, also being able to drift into those central areas and finding like those half spaces or those pockets. But of course, with a player like Xavi coming in, I guarantee Thomas Frank sold the project to him and told him that he would be the main man at Spurs. And let's be real, I think Xavi Simons' best position is probably going to be a number 10. At Leipzig, he was elite in progressive carries, key passes, and chance creation. And according to FBref, he ranked in the top 10% of attacking midfielders in Europe for shot creating actions. Another thing that I want to touch on here when it comes to Xavi Simons is some of his best attributes is, let's start with his ability to carry the ball. He has the ability to drop deep, receive the ball, and run through the entire midfield of opposition and get into these areas and play a through ball off onto his attackers. So when it comes to a player like Brennan Johnson, he's going to benefit greatly from a guy like Xavi because his ability, like I said, to be able to pick up the ball and run through the defense, similar to James Maddison. James Maddison's actually really effective at this too, running through the defenders and being able to play a cheeky through ball right into his attackers. A guy like Richarlison will also feed off this too, as well as Kudus as well, running in behind as well. So it's one of the good things that we see about Xavi Simons. Another good thing about Simons is his ability to get shots off from deep. If you look at a lot of his goal compilations and all the goals that he's scored in his career, he has a very good shooting range on him. And it's not like a direct shot. It's a very finessey, hard shot. His shots aren't like a player like Lookman. If we do sign Lookman, I would take him. But if you look at the way that Lookman shoots, it's very heavy, hard shots. Even Kudus too. If you watch Kudus' goals, Kudus doesn't really have finesse to his shot. But with Xavi, he has a lot of finesse to his shot. So he's able to curl balls into the net at any given time. And he's very dangerous from range. But he also has a very hard and direct shot. And he's able to get those shots off from deep. If you look at his goal that he scored against England in the Euros, from this area exactly, that type of shot explains exactly the different ways that Xavi is able to hurt teams. He can shoot from deep, he can shoot from far, he can shoot close up, he has finesse, he has hard direct shots. This guy is a goal machine. I'm just imagining him pulling the strings behind Richarlison and Johnson and Kudus. It's crazy, man. And then you look at this bench that we have here between Tell, Solanke, Odegaard, Bergvall, Maddison, Kulusevski, Gray. Like, this bench that we have now, assuming everyone's fit, is insane. This bench alone could get us bare minimum, I'm going to say 9th, even 8th. Now the starting 11 with this squad, this is the first time in Spurs history where we can actually say that we have a whole squad where when we rotate, we're not losing too much. Imagine being able to bring Maddison and Kulusevski off the bench to change games. That's scary. That's a threat. And with Thomas Frank as your coach, brother, Premier League, get ready. because Spurs are cooking something this season, man. They are. Now, I'm going to do it just for argument's sake. I want to hear your guys' opinions. Spurs fans, Arsenal fans, football fans as a whole. Who had the better signing? Arsenal or Spurs? Who fits better for their club? Eze or Xavi Simons? Who is the better player right now? Who has the highest ceiling? And who's going to have the biggest impact this season? I want to know who had the better signing, Arsenal or Spurs, Eze or Simons. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, like I was saying before, the crazy thing is that despite being just age 22, Xavi already has a wealth of experience. Over 70 senior games in 2 of Europe's top leagues, Champions League minutes against Europe's best, international minutes as a starter for the Netherlands. Bro, this is not just your typical young prospect. This is a ready-made star, and he has so far to go in his development as well. He genuinely has the potential to become world class. But of course, enough glaze. The big question is, can he adapt to the Premier League? Now listen, the Bundesliga is physical, sure, but the Premier League is on a whole nother level. He'll need to make decisions a lot quicker, absorb tackles, and deal with the intensity week in, week out. But personality-wise, I think he's built for it. Xavi is fearless, he's expressive, and off the pitch, fun fact, he's a massive anime fan. And I don't know what that has to do with him performing in the Premier League, but I just want to say that him and Solanke are going to end up having an insane bond. They're going to be talking about Demon Slayer, Naruto, bro, all the anime stuff. They're going to be best friends. Anyways, but yeah, the big thing for Xavi Simons is how can he adapt to the Premier League, and I think he has the mentality and the drive to be able to do it. The signing genuinely feels so different. I can't even remember the last time that Spurs have signed a player this good. Think back, players like Bale, Modric, Van der Vaart, those players were the ones who lifted Tottenham to another level. And since then, we've had some great players, yes. And of course, Heung-Min Son, now being a club legend, but he's gone now, and there was a huge sun-shaped void left to fill, but not anymore. Now we have Xavi Simons, brother, stepping into the role of Heung-Min Son. Huge boots to fill, but Xavi Simons has the mindset and the ability to do it. At just 22, he's got the experience, the personality, and the hunger. He's already proven he can deliver at the top level, Champions League minutes, international goals, star performances at PSV and Leipzig. He is wearing that number 7 shirt, not just for the number or for the looks. It's an announcement to his ability to back himself to become the future of this club, the heir to Son, the franchise player, the one Spurs can build around for the next decade. But here's the thing, signings like this don't just change a squad, they change a club's identity. For years, Spurs have been accused of not being ambitious enough, of letting opportunities slip away. But this move, this feels like the complete opposite. It feels like Tottenham finally said, we're done waiting, we're here to compete. Now the big question is, and I'm sure we're all thinking it, is how high can Xavi Simons take us? Can he and Mohamed Kudus become the new duo that Premier League teams need to fear? Could this be the beginning of a Tottenham side that doesn't just fight for top 4, but fights for, dare I say it, titles? Titles, anyone? I want to hear from you guys. Is Xavi Simons truly Tottenham's best signing in over a decade? Or do you think there's another name that deserves the crown? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and I'll be replying to every single one. Now listen, I know I've been low-key glazing Xavi a lot this video, but it's within right. And the effect of the signing, unless you're a Spurs fan, it's really hard to understand how big this actually is. And if he lives up to the hype, if he lives up to his potential, this could be one of our best signings ever. And speaking of best signings ever, if you haven't already, go check out my breakdown of Mohamed Kudus. Because if Spurs get both of these players firing together, trust me, the Premier League is not ready for what Spurs are cooking this season. Click that video on the screen and I'll see you there.